Hey everybody, this is Sanj, and for those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome to The Real Fan Review. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Listen to all our episodes on your favorite podcasting app, and make sure to like us and subscribe on YouTube so you can keep up to date with all the new episodes. If there's a topic you would like us to talk about, just let us know. Our email address is therealfanreview@gmail.com. Real is spelled R-E-E-L. Enjoy the show.
You're listening to The Real Fan Review with Hav, Sanj, Al, and B.
What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Hav here, one of your hosts from The Real Fan Review. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have four with us, but not the original four. We got my nephew. We got Sean today.
Hello, guys.
We also got my boy Sanj.
Good evening, everyone. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you.
And we got the man in the chair, Al, today.
How's it going, everybody?
Great to have you back.
Yeah.
Because you fact check us. So before we get into the podcast, I messed up last week. And when we were talking about Casey Kasem.
You sound like Casey Kasem just now when you said that. That was good.
So Casey Kasem, the reason that they didn't reach out to Casey Kasem is because Casey Kasem did in fact die in 2014.
Ah.
I should have known that, being as I'm a big fan of Casey Kasem. So to Casey Kasem, rest in peace to
Yes.
his family. I do apologize for making that mistake. I say this is real talk at this moment. And I would like to dedicate today's episode to our dearly departed Casey Kasem.
There you go. Today's episode for Casey Kasem.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this week, we're going to give you a little review on the Ford v Ferrari. I hate the V thing. Even, remember Batman v Superman?
Yes.
Just say versus.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to say versus.
I guess that's that's a court thing or like a...
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Absolutely, you're right, because it's like Roe v. Wade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how they say it.
So it's crazy. But anyway, we're gonna do a review on Ford v Ferrari.
And then we'll write a letter to the Oxford English language.
There we go. Yeah, man. And we're also going to talk about the Mandalorian today. And then that was pretty much of the news. So I figured maybe we'll do some situations with the fellas today. And I got some good ones for you guys. All right. So let's get right into it, man. Ford v Ferrari. Sean, Sanj, I know you guys got to watch it this Friday. Talk to me, man. I got that text message. You said a lot of positive things, man.
Well, like I said, I was excited to see it. Sean came to me when, he saw that the movie was coming out, and he's like, can we go see it? And I was like, of course we can go see it. I expected an entertaining movie.
Right.
I expected a good movie.
Especially with those actors that are in it.
Especially with those actors.
Matt Damon.
Christian Bale,
Yeah.
of course, one of our favorites here.
Absolutely.
I didn't expect it to be such a great movie.
Really? Like, what is it? Was it the writing, the acting,
The
everything?
writing, the story, the acting.
Yeah.
It ended up being almost a 3-hour movie.
Oh,
and I
wow.
didn't even notice it was a 3-hour movie. We're doing non-spoil, so there's not really much I can say about the story itself. But Christian Bale completely stole the show.
Wow.
In the movie. Of course,
He's
he
been
does.
doing that lately.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
He's Christian Bale, and he's awesome. That's why he's one of our favorites here.
Now, did you find the movie inspirational or just a good story? Or, what was it about this movie that made it so good for you?
For me, it was just, it's a father-son story,
Okay.
right? On a few levels, right? Henry Ford II, carrying on the legacy of his family. Ken Miles, they play heavy on the relationship between him and his son.
Okay.
In the movie, his son is maybe 10 or 12.
Right.
During the movie, and there's a lot of touching scenes, between the two of them. There was that, the racing, the scenes are very exciting.
Oh, wow.
Very exciting.
Okay.
They have you on the edge of your seat all the time.
Wow.
With the racing, it's very technical, but you don't necessarily have to be a gearhead or a mechanic to understand.
Right.
But still very technical at the same time. So you feel like at the end of it, you feel like you have an understanding about cars, even if you knew nothing about cars before. And at the end of it, you talk about inspirational. I always said that when all the bills are paid, when the kids have gone to college and I retire and I'm gonna go get an Aston Martin and that's my treat to myself, I think I'm gonna go get a Shelby instead.
There you go, man.
Well,
Now, Sean, you went with Pops there to go see the movie. What'd you think of the movie yourself? Did you like it as much as Dad did, or what?
I think I liked it more, if I do say so myself.
Oh, wow. Okay. You liked it more. Now, anything about the movie stood out to you that you really liked? Anything, a part of it or something that happened that you really, really liked?
There was this one time when Ferrari burned Ford. That's all I'm going to say, though. 'Cause,
Okay.
like, I'm not going to say what he exactly said. That'd be spoiling it.
All right.
We're doing a non-spoiler review here. I can't say that.
All right. Not a
I cannot
problem.
say that.
So, like, is this a movie you would recommend, like, your friends your age to go see it or everybody to go see it?
Everybody see it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you see it again?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What are
That's
some other
awesome.
things that you liked about it? What specifically? Was it exciting?
I'd say when they were doing the 24-hour race
Mm-hmm.
and when Ken Miles was on the track, it was just like nobody could keep up with him.
Right.
Gotcha. All right, man. That's cool, man. And listen, I've known you your whole life.
Yeah.
I know cars are a big deal for you. Did you like the cars?
Yeah. The cars were fly.
So let me ask you, man. Big time question here. If you had to pick one car, Ford or Ferrari car, what we picking, Sean?
Ooh. I mean, for the speed of Ferrari, I'd pick Ferrari, but for the looks, I'd pick Ford. So it was kind of
Really?
Yeah.
Because they said, that's one of the things in the movie that they were saying, like, they
That
didn't exactly show up with the car that would win the beauty contest.
I thought that car looked pretty good.
Okay. That's awesome. If everybody has different preferences. I thought the Ferrari was incredibly
It
Yeah.
looked pretty good.
that
But
Ferrari.
Even these days when I'm on the highway and I see a Ferrari next to me,
Yeah.
first thing I say is I'm not going to fit in that fucker. Second thing I say is that car looks good. Yeah, man. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad you guys really liked it. You guys actually make me want to go see the movie.
And that's why, like, afterwards, like right after when we were walking out in the hallway
Yeah.
of the theater, and I was texting you guys like, are any of you going to be able to see it? Because I so want to do a spoiler,
All right.
and talk to you guys and jump in. That's how good the movie is. Like, we can talk about this.
it
All right.
requires a spoiler review.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, man. I'll make the effort to see it this week, and then hopefully maybe next Sunday we could get into a spoiler review of this. I'll see if the fellas here, if Al or Brandon, may want to check it out. So
Because there was like so many moments where you just laugh out loud
Yeah.
in the theater, not because it's slapstick funny, just because it's like a burn,
Yeah.
or it's just like hilarious.
Like
it's just
the
like
burn I was talking
Yeah.
about. It's just
I got
hilarious.
you.
When you see it,
Uh-huh.
you'll be like, ooh.
That's awesome, man. So listen, Sanj, your review here for Ford vs Ferrari sounds awesome. Something you recommend? It's a must see or
must see.
must see.
For anyone. You don't have to be a car head. You don't have to be into racing, or anything like that. But it's just a must see for anyone. Great movie. I will say that I might have to revise my top 5. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Wow, that's incredible. And Sean, I know you're on your way out of here, but real quick, man, what's your review of it? The must see.
Must see.
All right, man. Sean, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We love you.
Right.
Good night.
And that's all, folks, for him. That's awesome, man. It's awesome. That's the future of the Real Fan Review right there.
Now that we've put the kids to bed.
Now, other news for this week as far as reviews go. I know me and Al, we're kind of big fans of Star Wars. Al a little bit more than I am, but still, we enjoy Star Wars. And again, this is a podcast about movies, but with sometimes you have these shows now that are including what happens into the movie. They're part of the, what do they call
Canon.
it? It's now canon now.
Yeah,
So with Disney Plus coming out, everyone knows that the show that's being sold for Disney Plus is The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got to watch episodes 1 and 2 this week. Al, yourself?
Yeah, definitely got to watch it.
You got to watch it. All right. So we knew now. We have not spoke about this.
Nope.
So Al, what is your take on episodes 1 and 2?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna call a timeout real quick.
Go for it.
What's up?
It's a podcast about movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But Mandalorian is a show?
Right, but it's canon. We just
feels
said
like a movie.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
As you're watching each episode, like when the ending comes, I don't know about you, how each time it's ended, it's caught me off guard because I've gotten it so into the story, like I just felt it was going to keep going, and then the credits come up, and I'm like, what?
And it's also quick, man. It's like what, 35 minutes?
Yeah, it's like a half hour.
Okay.
Yeah, they feel like
No, because I've been, as much as, obviously we know I'm a bigger Star Trek fan, I've been gaining an appreciation for Star Wars from the discussions that we've been having here. So I just wanted to know if it's something that I should really look,
Yeah.
Well, I think the rumor out there right now is that something is going to happen in this show that will go into the last.
Well, I was assuming that's what
Wars,
I was hoping for, because there was a I'm assuming there was a reason why this needed to be in launch of Disney Plus,
Right.
and the fact that it's set after Return of the Jedi, but before Force Awakens.
It's supposed to be like 5 years after The Last
Yeah,
Jedi.
yeah.
And they're saying that something that happens in this
5 years after Return of the Jedi?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Return of the
Jedi. Yeah. So they saying 5 years after, and then this takes place. And to be honest with you, I think I got a clue of what might be happening, but we'll talk about that now. So listen, if anybody doesn't want to hear spoilers on The Mandalorian, we're gonna go into spoilers because it's the show that's on Disney Plus that's going on right now, and mostly if you like The Mandalorian, you've seen it already. So let's.
And thank you guys for giving me a little backstory so I understand where we are.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So I know, Al, I watched the first episode the first day I got the Disney Plus there, and I was floored by it, man, because I thought it was done great. It made me completely forget about The Last Jedi. I mean, it just completely brought me to like, wow, this is Star Wars. It's funny how 35 minutes it can make you feel like Star Wars. It had the characters. It gave you a sense of like adventure. It had a little quirkiness and funniness to it. So I'm like, I really thought I enjoyed it a lot, the first episode with The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Now, what'd you think of that whole first episode there?
I liked it. It made me realize why I guess so many people thought so highly of Boba Fett.
Right.
In fact, just watching the previews for this, for whatever reason, I thought it was going to be about Boba Fett, which was what was originally throwing me off. But it just turns out it's another Mandalorian that they're following.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then it's letting you know, and this is why I was so, I guess it accentuated for me why I was so disappointed in The Last Jedi. What's the movie?
The Last Jedi, or?
Yeah, Last Jedi. Was because of the fact that this is exactly what could have been done with the change in the story, with the bringing in of the rest of the galaxy and universe.
Right.
Like, you could have done it in separate stories. Because now here we are. We're going to get the full breakdown of the Mandalorians, what made them so special. Like, their metal, like their steel, the fact that everybody was...
Yeah, that was a really cool...
His whole costume is not complete. Oh, it's not costume, but his whole armor is not complete. The only thing he had that was of the actual metal that they use was his helmet.
Right.
And then he gets more, and he makes a shoulder piece and everything.
Yeah, I thought he was trying to get paid. He's just trying to get armor.
Yeah.
But wait, he has... I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Question.
Yeah.
So he has to earn the armor as part of...
Well, he's a bounty hunter. Okay. So for one of his jobs, it's such a big job that the person is paying him in...
It's like a medal.
It's a lot of money, but because that metal has become so rare... because the Empire raided.
But is this a metal that all Mandalorians use for their armor?
Yeah.
So it sort of is like kind of a rite of passage to assemble his armor or something.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they even say it in the episode, like that when he gives him back that metal, he goes, "It's good to see that this metal is back with a Mandalorian."
Oh,
because this was
awesome.
their metal. They use it to make their armor. It's so strong that that's why it could deflect blaster, blaster shots. It can deflect, also it could defend them against the Jedi's lightsaber if it wasn't a direct swipe.
Right.
So it's a very strong metal, very rare. It's only really based on their planet, was where it was harvested and everything. So, but it made you want to learn more about this part of the Mandalorian and this part of the Star Wars canon and backdrop, as opposed to the Skywalkers. So that's why, for me, like I said, as I'm watching the potential of this, I'm like, see, this is why The Last Jedi should have been left to address the Skywalkers, extend their story, let it come to a true conclusion.
Right.
And then take all these other plots and make your own shows, your own... And I'm no offense, I'm kind of glad now that it's biting them in the foot, and they've had to cancel. They've canceled somewhat some of these.
Yeah.
Star
I think
Wars
Dave.
shows.
Who are the people from Lord of the Rings? Not Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. You're wearing the shirt right
Game of
now.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
David Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
Yeah, I think they came off of the Star Wars movie they were supposed to
Ryan
make.
Johnson's trilogy is put on
Ryan
hold.
Johnson's on hold right now.
Yeah.
He keeps saying he's gonna make it still, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's to me that shows like you have to listen to your fans, and not that you have
Goes
to
back
give
what
it
we
to
were
them.
saying last week.
Yeah, not that you have to give them what they want and not make up a good different story or take things in new directions, but take things in new directions
That makes sense.
That makes sense for the storyline, the plot, and what your fans are looking for.
Right.
Give them a little tweak, something maybe that they didn't know they wanted, a little surprise. But don't say, "Oh, okay, yeah, all the characters you know to be this story, yeah, we're gonna get rid of them."
what'd you think of the other bounty hunter, the robot bounty hunter? I think it was but played by Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I liked it. Like I liked the way they made him look. He looked more like he wasn't like C-3PO was done in the form of a human, and it affected his ability to walk and so forth.
Right.
This raw, you could tell his object. He was just designed to kill, shoot.
Everything was a freaking kill shot.
Yeah, he was spinning. Yeah, the fact that he was able to spin in a 360 direction and everything, like that was it. He was just designed.
I thought
for
that
one
was so
purpose.
cool looking. The way he did that, and then like you were saying, the endings of these shows were kind of like just like out of left field. The ending of part 1, when I saw it. And again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but I'm giving you guys a chance to not listen.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda? I don't think it's Baby Yoda, but I don't know the race
A baby
of
of
the Yoda.
Yoda's race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So
I
does
listen.
Yoda's race have a name?
I've never heard it.
Never heard it. That's why everybody keeps calling it Baby Yoda.
Yeah, because they've never really given his race a name. There's only been other in Star Wars Rebels. I think there was another character that was of his race.
Right.
But they've never really described or given that race a name. you know.
Gotcha.
So, and then we're listening to one of the other podcasts that talks about movies like us. They had an interesting take on what it might be.
Right.
And I hope it's not that. Like, I hope they stay away from time travel and all that stuff. And just,
Oh God, hopefully
So
not.
they were-
no,
yeah,
I didn't think time travel at all. I honestly, first thing I thought was, first of all, I wasn't sure if he was force sensitive, but then I assumed he was because the only other Yoda type people that were they all had the force issues.
Yeah.
You know, they could all use it. So my first thought was, okay, because the whole bounty was to capture this thing dead or alive.
Yeah.
Right. The scientists.
It was preferably alive. Yeah. But if dead, they definitely needed proof of death.
Right. So my thing is, they know that Baby Yoda thing is force powerful. So if it does go into the Star Wars that's coming out in December, my first thought process was, oh shit, they're gonna try to either take the midichlorians from this creature, or they're gonna use it somehow to help bring back
Because then
the
if that
Emperor.
species is all of them are force sensitive, it's
It
something
seems
in
like
it's
it.
something in their
Now-
genetics that
But that's what I'm wondering. See, and that was another thing I'm wondering. Is this going to be like Yoda's child? Because they referenced the fact that it's 50 years old.
Oh,
So
wow.
if this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi,
get it on.
then this would have been during his lifetime.
Yeah.
So is it his child, or are they going to use this to then bring up the theory that others have had about Rey, which is this Yoda's clone?
It's interesting, man.
Wait, they think Rey is a Yoda clone?
No, that Rey's a clone.
No.
Oh,
That's a
the theory
rumor
is
going
that-
out there.
Oh no, yeah. I get. I know the theory about her being a clone.
But now
which
this
would
is
make
going to
sense
bring in
with-
cloning.
which would make the mirror scene with her
Yeah.
make a lot of sense.
More
Oh, yeah.
significance, yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the theories is that they were out there trying to clone Jedis, was one of the theories as to how Rey came about.
Gotcha.
And so this would be along the lines of the early process of, okay, well, they cloned Yoda, and is this his clone or is this his descendant? It'll be interesting to see what the rest of the series shows.
Yeah.
Because then I think it'll definitely be a tie-in into whatever they're going
I
to show
think
us.
so, man. And then the second episode, again, the first episode, I thought they caught lightning in a bottle, and I was like, let me see how the second episode goes. And it was just as entertaining. It really was, I mean, and it's funny because I felt like nothing really happened, but so much did. And it just seemed like really cool. I'm looking forward to the third episode. The best part of the first 2 episodes, and I'm gonna be saying this from now on, is I have spoken. I have spoken.
Now you guys make me want to go see this.
I found
sign
that
up for Disney
hysterical.
Plus
Like
tonight.
I didn't know. Like who is he that was his response to? Like he would end it like that. Like in essence, like say no more. Cause
That's it. I've spoken.
And what I liked about it in episode 2, even I think even more so did it, was the fact that there's comedy, but it's not corny.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's one thing I liked about it. And that's one thing I was scared of. Were they going to get corny with some of the stuff? Was it going to seem cheesy?
Gotcha.
And everything, like, and even though he just wears that helmet, you never see his face. Like, you almost see the expressions given the circumstances.
He's killing it. He's killing it with that mask, man. He really is, because there's some good acting going on in there.
Who's playing the Mandalorian?
It's the guy from Narcos. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. But it's such a good show. Honestly, it really is. I mean, if you guys don't hear it from our voices right now, what we're saying, we definitely recommend to go see it, go check it out.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh yes, Pedro Pascal. And
dude, the mask has not come off, man.
Okay. Supposedly they never take it off.
And that's what I was worried about, because I'm like, this is a show. He's the only Mandalorian. He's watched them take the mask off. Not once yet.
No.
He barely even speaks. You know, he does talk from here and there, but it's so good, dude. It really is. And it's truly Star Wars. It's Star Wars that I remember. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that third episode.
And when he went back to his ship, I thought that was some of the funniest scenes when he went back to his ship. JD! And
Jawas.
See, this is what I say. Like, they make it funny, but they don't make it cheesy. The fact that he sees what they've done to his ship. I'm trying not to ruin it for everybody, but he just starts, like a bounty hunter who's trained to kill would do. He just starts sniping them. I was like, wow. I was kind of not expecting it, but it stays true to character. Like,
exactly. That's what a bounty hunter would do. Take him out.
You doing that to my ship? All right. Boom.
Vaporize. Oh man, that's good, man. So I mean, Al, I know I said I would recommend it. How about yourself?
Oh yeah,
man?
Even if you're not into Star Wars, but you want to see what it's about without having to watch 8 movies, definitely watch this. You'll get a good feel of what that universe is about.
Yeah, man, and they're quick shows too. 35 minutes in and out.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. So I definitely recommend that.
That's tonight's nightcap.
There you go, man. Wait a minute. Have you guys did the Netflix that comedy show that I told you, Dean Cole?
Hilarious.
I couldn't breathe listening to that thing, but I'm glad you guys watched. Did you watch it?
Hilarious.
Al, you got to make sure you watch Dean Cole. Netflix. Ridiculous. But anyway, man, back to our movie podcast. That's how funny it is. I had to cut into the podcast with Dean Cole. So I mean, that's pretty much it for the podcast as far as the movies goes. And like I said, I kind of knew it was going to be a short podcast today. And something we tried maybe about 3 weeks ago, was it? That we did movie scenarios.
Scenarios.
So what I do is I try to come up with some scenarios there from movies that I've seen or movies that I know have been out there.
But wait, before we go into that,
so
now coming up this week, there's a big movie coming out. There's 2 big movies coming out. You got Frozen 2 for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And you got A Beautiful Day, the Mr. Rogers story.
Oh,
coming
beautiful.
Out this
That's
week.
right.
Okay.
So I think I'm catching both of those this week.
All right.
I know I'm definitely catching Frozen 2 this week because my daughter's been on me.
True story. I've never seen Frozen 1.
As far as Disney movies go, pretty good.
Be grateful.
Be grateful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a good movie.
But
but I've seen it so many times.
You need to let it go, Al.
Well, we have girls though. That's why.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It was on loop.
The boys not so much are into Frozen, but yeah, Frozen 2 is gonna come out. So that's all she's been talking about. So I'll definitely go see Frozen 2, and I'm hoping that I'll have time to go see A Beautiful Day this week. If not, I'll go the following week because Tom Hanks is Mr. Rogers. Like, come on, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah,
right.
They made him look so much like.
Well, Tom Hanks is
Tom Hanks is awesome, man. He's just a great actor.
Like him, guys like him, Christian Bale. Yeah, anything that just put him in a movie. Not only guaranteed money, guaranteed pretty much good movie.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Him and Denzel don't do wrong, bro.
Nope.
No.
No.
Nope.
And surprisingly, another movie that the previews have been making me tempted to go watch, even though it's normally not the kind that I would go see, is Good Liar.
Oh yeah, they're selling that. That's funny you say that, because the previews and the trailers, I'm like, okay, I'm interested. I don't know if I'm gonna pay to go see it.
Yeah.
But it did interest me.
Yeah, I like the twist that they seem to be having, that he's the con man, but she's aware of it, and then she turns it on him. It seems.
Let's
So
see.
I want.
Yeah.
It made me want to see how that plays out. It looks good.
Yeah,
Another
man.
good one I saw this week was Jacob's Ladder, with Michael Ealy.
Oh, it's the remake, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was really good. The twist is incredible.
Oh, you saw
Jacob's
Yeah.
Ladder with Michael Ealy. I didn't even know that came out again.
Yep.
Because I remember the first one, but all right, I'll see. Damn, you guys are putting a lot of movies on my list, man. I love it. That's what we do this for.
You know what it is? We're not all like. It's like some weeks like. Like one of two of us will be like, yeah, I saw this and I saw this. I'm like, oh damn, I didn't see anything this week. It's like we're never all like getting to see
Yeah.
a bunch of movies all at the same time. It's
Life, bro.
Life.
Life with kids, jobs, everything, man. I'm going to school. Jesus, it's nuts. But anyway, man,
I don't know how you're doing. You're like Superman over there, bro.
trying, man, building a shed.
Building a shed.
Oh God.
Oh man, but let's get into these scenarios real quick. And by the way, man, shout out to my uncle Raz, man. He's working on a little drop for this segment when we start doing this a little bit
All
more
right.
often, man. So let's get into this really quick here. These scenarios real quick. So the first one I got here for you, we're gonna go to Sanj first on this.
Okay, here we go.
Sanj, you wake up and you go to a barbecue.
Okay.
You start humming these songs. And everybody's like, dude, that's awesome. Did you write that? And you're like, nah, man, this is this artist. And they're like, who's that? Sanj, you start getting famous now because you're using this artist's songs.
Mm-hmm.
What's the artist you're singing here?
You too.
Are you stealing U2 songs?
I know the movie. I know the movie you're talking about.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, and I love that movie. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it on here. And I'm not that big of a Beatles fan. Okay, I'm gonna polarize the audience, our 10 audience listeners or whatever. But I'm not that big of a Beatles fan. But I'm a huge U2 fan, and as big as the Beatles are, I've never really liked their music that much. But hearing their songs sung by someone else and getting, like revived in sort of way, I started to like listen. I'm like, all right, the music is pretty good. They had some songs that I really, really liked. Some of the songs where George Harrison sings, I'm more into those songs like Here Comes the Sun, and Let It Be, obviously, was a really, really great song. But yeah, my artist that I would be singing their songs is U2.
And you would take full credit?
I would take full credit. Bono, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. We're at the end of the movie. I'm telling the story of how it was really you guys and this. Nope. I'm taking full credit, and I'm out there closing down shows with or without you.
There you go. Al, you're singing at a barbecue. Nobody knows who you're talking about. Who you getting famous off of, brother?
Now I'm not going to say this name because I think he's the greatest singer, only because he crosses over into two of the genres that I listen to a lot. I mean, I grew up probably with like yourself. I grew up with salsa played in the house 24/7.
Right.
But my Spanish isn't that great. So I would think like a Mark Anthony, only because he's on both sides. It would force me to learn Spanish better than I
would
do.
be Mark Anthony.
That's the only name that when you said it, I was like, that's the only name that made sense. He's close to
I just got an image
my generation.
Of Al on the stage, my darling.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. You
All
can't
the
deny
reason I could fly.
that. No, because other than that, the other one, that came
You
to
had to go with the Puerto Rican guy, huh?
I know.
It's the only one that came to mind.
Yo, he's like
Dude,
huge.
he's
So on
big,
both sides,
dude.
that's what I'm saying.
Listen.
On both sides, he's loved as an English with his English songs.
Yeah.
They weren't as big as his Latin albums, but
There is
he's
not
on
a
both
week
sides.
that goes by that Mark Anthony's not played in my house.
There you go.
All right?
I thought, and it's like Jesus, then Mark Anthony,
Yeah.
right?
But the more classical ones
Pretty
that I
much.
grew up
It's like
listening
God,
to.
Jesus, and then Mark Anthony, right?
God, Jesus.
But there's
and
other ones
chocolate
that
cake.
came to mind. There's other ones that came to mind, but
Yeah.
that they only, because I grew up with my father playing them all the time, they only speak Spanish, and my
Yeah.
Spanish is not strong enough for me to
Oh, man.
pull it
That's
off.
funny, man.
But not at the end of the movie. You letting you giving credit, or are you taking it for yourself?
Does it come out that it was really him?
Well, in yesterday at the end of the movie, he lets it out of the bag that, you know what, these aren't my songs. They're a band called the Beatles and blah blah blah. blah. And
How big did I get, and how much money?
you
you
got
got huge,
just
bro.
You got just as big as Mark Anthony.
Yeah, nobody's knowing. Yeah, no, that's going with me. That's going with me.
Yeah, man. Listen, if I could wake up and start reciting somebody's rhymes, songs, whatever, for me, because of the way I grew up, Uniondale, Bronx, I would probably take all of Jay-Z's stuff, bro. I would take all of Jay-Z's stuff and never say a thing.
Really?
I can see you. Can I get a what? I see it. I totally see it.
Dude, I would. What, the New York song? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Right, play some Michael
Daddy,
Jordan.
You know me, baby. I want nobody. What's good? Dude, I'd be Hova.
H to the Izzo.
Dude, I'd be Javier.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. But Jay-Z would definitely be the person I would take all his lyrics, all his songs, and I'd be him for the future, dude. Oh, man. So, all right, so that was yesterday's scenario there. Now, the next one I got for you guys is I was actually really curious about this after we saw It, right? So, and you know, the basic thing about It is their worst fears or their fear is coming to get them. Mm-hmm. So you guys are in Derry, and it's alive. It's real. Now you guys don't see clowns. What is it that you're seeing, Al? What's gonna come after you, bro?
My wife makes fun of me. Everybody makes fun
Oh
of me.
my
for
God!
it.
I thought he said his wife, dude.
No.
Oh my God, dude! He's like, my wife. I was like, dude,
Wow.
No, like my only phobia that will make me freeze are bees.
really?
Yeah,
Never knew that.
yeah.
Wow.
I will stop if I see a bee. I will stop. Granted, they tell you to stop, but yeah, no. My initial freeze is because
Now,
I have a phobia.
Is this
of them.
localized to bees or like flying insects like wasps?
No,
and
just
everything?
bees.
Just bees. Okay.
Just bees.
So
I don't know what
they
it
have
is.
to be
Anything else,
identifiable as
like,
bees.
Anything else? A wasp. I get nervous around only because I know they can sting and keep stinging.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because of that knowledge. But I'm not scared of them. I've never been stung. I have no idea where this phobia comes from.
Right.
It's just bees.
Wow.
Bees, bumblebees, anything the yellow and black.
So Pennywise is sending bees at Al.
Oh, hell yeah. With that buzzing sound.
Oh man, Sanj, what's coming after you? What's Pennywise sending in his place or replicating for you?
Probably snakes.
Really?
Yeah, probably snakes. Like I have like a phobia of like creepy crawly things anyway, like rodents, like mice and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
why it sucks where we live, because everyone has them, because it's not because we're dirty or anything like that. It's just
we got the woods out here.
We got the woods out here, right? So, but, like, I can run away from a mouse. I just feel like if there was a snake anywhere, like, it's so fast and it's so agile that I can't run away from it. Like, yeah, the snake would get me.
I have a weird one, and which is really cool. Sometimes these scenario things, I get to learn things about you guys.
Yeah,
That's insane. And Al, man, for as long as I've known you, I've never known that you bug out with bees.
Oh, good. Yeah, I try not to put it out there, but yeah, that's the one phobia that will make me freeze in my track.
Dude, you know what Pennywise would turn into?
This guy Hob is Batman over here, keeping files on all of
I
us
know,
in,
right?
case, in case we ever get too powerful.
What are they scared of?
So,
Let me know.
so when I'm out there singing U2 songs, I'm gonna get a box with a snake in it or something like. I know, just let I know.
Dude, for me, Pennywise is gonna put me in a situation which I don't want to be in. I don't know why I fear heights, but heights in a weird way because I dream about this all the time. A big wheel bicycle. What? I don't know what the fuck it is. You ever see those like big wheels on a circus and the guy's all the way at the top?
Yeah, and then the music like.
My dude, you put me on top of one of those, I'm offing myself.
This is hilarious,
dude.
So wait, not the height.
No, it's the
just
height.
the fact that it's the back.
No, dude, how many roller coasters have we gone on?
Bro, do you not remember when we went on Free Fall?
Yes.
Okay.
Enough said.
Dude, I have this reoccurring dream where I'm on a normal bike, and then all of a sudden the front wheel just gets big, and I'm high, and I start wobbling. And I'm looking down, and it's like
Sorry,
almost.
I shouldn't be laughing at this, but
dude, it's so weird. And that's Pennywise would put me on a tricycle. That's really, really tall. I will just pass out right there, dude. I would just fall. Pennywise done got me, kid. Oh my god, I can't believe I admitted that. Oh man. All right, so let's get a funnier one here. Okay. All right. So let's go with Sanj first on this one, man. So Sanj, you go out to work with your work people.
Okay.
You're at a bar, and the rival company, they're having a Christmas party at the same time as your company's having a Christmas party. And they want to fight. What melee weapon are you using?
I am using a club with nails in it.
Sanj, what movie is that from, dude?
I can't remember.
Anchorman?
Yeah, it's Anchorman,
oh
man.
My God, how did I forget? Oh my God.
Yeah, man, Anchorman. I saw that the other day. It was like it was on TNT or something like that, just browsing by, and it was at the scene where like everyone met up at the park, and they started bringing out weapons. Like, what?
Oh, like when something similar, like when they wrap barbed wire around a baseball bat, something like that. That's my weapon.
Yeah, that's what you bring it out there.
Yeah, either like a club with nails sticking out, or like a baseball bat with barbed wire around. Just something like I can swing and rip flesh with,
Oh my God. Al.
I don't know what
are you doing to the rival bank, bro?
I was just gonna say, I don't know what this weapon is called, but every time I see somebody bring it out in a movie, it's always in a funny scene like that, and it makes me crack up. It has the stick with the chain and the ball at the end, but the ball has a spike on
mace.
it. Mace. Hey, every time I see somebody bring that shit out for a fight,
it's like that shit doesn't exist. How is this?
It cracks me up. Like when they brought it out, I saw that show. I was like, where the fuck are they getting that from? So that's what I would bring.
Where were you carrying that? Like, how were you not making noise as you walked by? Like, how did you get past security? They have metal detectors.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, if I'm at a brawl with a rival hospital, I'm bringing nunchucks, man.
So now.
And I think just because I think it's funny, because I think I end up hitting myself.
I was just about to say, you don't hit yourself in the nuts with the nunchucks, right?
Because I'm up to Michelangelo that shit.
But you know what's funny, right? As soon I was going to leave the companies out of it.
Okay.
Because you and I are rival hospitals.
I forgot about that. Oh man, Sanj, I'm gonna try to hit you with nunchucks. You're just gonna wait for me to hit myself.
No, I just see me trying to swing something at you, and you just catch it like in your hand. You're like, really, dude? Really?
Oh my God, man, it's freaking hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Oh man! All right, and then this is our last scenario for the day, man. And we gotta keep doing these, man.
Yeah,
These
we
are
do.
hilarious.
These are hilarious. We
All
gotta
right.
get the girls back for when they do
Right.
it, because there's
I actually got a couple for in case the wives come in, man. Definitely.
So let's plan one where they both can come, or all three, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come, man, we'll bring them in there, man. We'll do these things. So we'll end this one on a more, not a serious note, but something like uplifting and something really cool, I think. Because I saw this. I haven't even seen this movie. It's a preview that's come out, and the preview is for a movie called Soul. And during the preview trailer for it, it seems like a really down to earth, another great Pixar movie. Looks like it's coming out. The guy goes, it's basically about your soul. So he says, "What would you want to be remembered for?" And when he said that question, I was like, "Wow, that's fucking deep." Because I try to think about it for myself. What would I want to be remembered for? And honestly, right now, the only thing I can think of that I want to be remembered for is being just. I want to be always remembered for being a good person, a good dad, a good friend, a good husband. Because I can't think of anything like crazy. Like, of course, I hope this podcast blows up and become famous, But if I could choose right now what I would want to be remembered for, it would be for being a really good person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for me, man. And Al, man, how about you, man? If you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be, brother?
Just
for becoming Mark Anthony.
Yeah, nobody would know, kid. Nobody would know. I guess
can definitely see you pulling off the look too.
He needs to know, dude.
I can't. I guess just my honesty. Yeah.
All right.
Just something along those lines. Like
sometimes brutal honesty.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I appreciate that about it.
Yeah, Al's funny, man. I love it, man.
Yeah. I guess it would have to be that. Yeah.
Right.
I'd try to find a nice way of saying it, but
yeah. All right, that's cool, man. I like that, man. And Sanj, man, we'll end off with you on these scenarios here, man. Sanj, brother, there's so many things that I remember you for anything. If something would have happened to you, man, it's fucking hilarious. But what would you yourself want to be remembered for?
Imploded.
Oh God,
dude, we fucked you up, bro. Green vial came out of this guy.
Well, it was my bachelor party,
yeah,
so I
but
mean,
still, man, that shit was glowing.
It was ecto cooler.
It was so crazy. So what would you want to be remembered for?
Probably something more along like the lines of what you said. Being a good dad first and foremost. I mean, not honestly. I think I try hard to be a good husband, but as far as being remembered for it, it doesn't matter to me as much as being a good dad, being remembered for that. That my kids, and then for in general, being remembered for, I guess, helping people out. Like, I have a few people that, just with knowledge, spread knowledge that I have. So like if I find out something about, let's say, economics or how to, buy houses, or how to just how to get from one place to another as far as elevating your status.
Yeah, you're always giving with your information.
Right, from generation to generation, because I'm like, somebody had to teach me. I didn't, I wasn't born knowing this stuff. Somebody along the way, I've had a lot of people, like take me under their wing at one time or another. I'm in management, so I had really good mentors. I guess for mentoring that. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. So for being a good mentor, to whoever I mentored.
That's good, man. Yeah, you definitely mentor a lot of people, man, because you've always wanted to give information. Like, anytime I bring up somebody's going through something, you're always like, give them my phone number or tell them to talk to me, and that's always cool about you, man. And, I can say from this position where I'm at, for you guys, man, I always think of you the way you guys just said it. When I think of you, I think of the way, like, even Sean today being on the podcast is just, that says something about you, right. And that's awesome.
I appreciate that.
And I think you talking about Ferrari, about all the father-son scenes. Yeah. That's just awesome, because I could see that it affected you.
Well, I didn't want to say too much with him here, and he'll probably listen to the podcast anyway.
Right.
But because he is a little emotional at times. But it's just like looking over, like sitting there, like looking over at his face, like while he was watching the movie,
right?
Like enjoying it, whatever. I'm just like, this is incredible. And then we took one of my I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure that he wants his name put out there.
Yeah.
One of my teachers who was a teacher of mine in 7th grade, 9th grade, and in high school, he became like my uncle. And since my dad and my wife's dad both passed away, he's like Sean's granddad.
Gotcha.
Because that's the kind of relations like even before we went to the movie, he brought over like the Discovery magazine when it was showing things that he could read in there, and he like gave him a subscription to it, and and he's a scientist as well, so that really vibes with me and like stuff that I like to do. So even him, he just kept talking about how great the movie was and how great of a time he had that day, like hanging out with Sean, hanging out with me, and like and the movie like really played into all of that. So that's why I thought the movie was really good too. Just watching his face, how excited he was that it can take on, like, there's some topics in there that's very, very adult, but not necessarily presented in a way that you can't have your kid watch the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, but yeah, so it was just another one of those things that we could share. So it was great. But no, the way I see you guys too, like I look up to you guys.
Yeah.
As well. Like I feel like if at any given time, like if I have something on my mind, I can talk to you guys. I can call you guys like, what do you think about this? And I get really, really good advice from you guys.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, man.
The same way.
And Al, man, I've known you for a long time, man. The one thing I can guarantee you is you honest, bro. You don't have to worry about that, man. You're gonna be remembered for being honest.
I wish there was more of that, though. I wish.
Yeah.
A lot of times, sometimes people don't want to hear it, but sometimes you have to hear it. But I just think it would be so much better if people really were just honest.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I hear you, brother. I hear you. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the podcast for today, man. I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to that. And again, if you guys like the scenarios that we're doing, if you have a suggestion out there, let us know. We'll definitely talk about the scenario next time, or, we'll do it the next time we do a big podcast. Again, we got some funny scenarios in waiting. So we'll keep doing these things every once in a while.
This was hilarious. The first time went really well. This time went really well as well. So I want to do that again.
Oh, hell yeah! I got one. I got one for Brandon when he comes. Definitely. Oh man.
I think that the music one with yesterday, that would have been such a great question for him.
We'll still ask him that. Then. Next time.
He is the musician in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we'll talk to him, man. But anyway, man, we're gonna sign off tonight, man. And then I thank you guys for listening. And as the beginning of the podcast, you hear Sanj saying we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You guys can find us on iTunes and pretty much every podcasting site that you can go to. So look us up. You can email us at therealfanreview@gmail.com. You can go to our website, therealfanreview.com. And again, guys, any kind of topic, question, scenario, anything like that, send it right on over to us and we'll go over it on the next episode there. So coming in from New York, we got my boy Sanj.
All right, everybody.
We got my man in the chair, Al.
Have a good one, everyone.
And myself, Hav, man. We thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night.